Oh, yeah. We're live. And we're back for another episode of the Fun Fans podcast. I'm kind of into this one. It's called Dance Pop, it says. Makes you want to dance and pop.
Well, if you say so. It's nice. It's nice, James. Good
It
midweek.
sounded better.
Good midweek pick me up.
Yeah, it sounded better a minute ago. All right, so welcome to another episode of the Fun Fans podcast. I'm your host, James Dillard. With me, as always, my co-host, Bailey Jackson. How you doing, Bailey?
We are back on a Wednesday night, not a wacky Wednesday this Wednesday.
Not so wacky. It's going to be a special senior night podcast tonight, and we appreciate you guys joining us here about 8:30 or so on Wednesdays, and of course 7 p.m. on Sundays. So let's just get straight to it. The news coming out of some college football and Tiger Town this week or since Saturday, they have announced the kickoff time for our rival game against the Gamecocks. It's getting close for that. You know, we're if you watch the show, we're nice to the Gamecocks. We like the game. We're not those obnoxious fans, but it's getting close to rivalry week, and it makes it a little harder. And that is also the final game of the regular season, and it is set for 7:30 p.m. down there in Columbia. Bailey, a lot of people around me, and I've seen it online as well, they think that gives the Gamecocks an advantage, the fact that it's a night game.
Well, you know, Willie B is I mean, it's going to be loud. I'll give them credit for one thing. It is a great place. If you were a Carolina fan, it'd be a great place to go to a game just like Death Valley is. It's not Death Valley, but
That's right.
It's a great place to go to a game, and they play the sandstorm and wave the white towels, and you know, Cocky comes out, and I mean, it's a good entrance.
Yeah. Well,
but
we were
team
down there
that
too.
Plays better will win the game.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say it was a night game 2 years ago. We were there and we won. So I'm not so worried about the players it being a night game, maybe. But anyway, so
wait a minute,
whatever.
did you hear who's supposed to be there?
Huge.
Donald Trump. Donald
huge
Trump.
announcement. It's rumored though, right?
Well, I mean, our governor, Henry McMaster, you know what he said? Mr. Trump is always welcome.
I say Trump.
Yes.
And we should do we should do a bit. It'd have to be all audio unless we got uniforms or costumes where you were the governor and I could do or try to do a bad impression of Trump. Anyway, 7:30, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, the Saturday after Thanksgiving. We're going to take on the Gamecocks in Columbia. Okay, another thing it's just that time of year, and me and Bailey, we don't like this stuff. Probably all coaches don't like it when the firing begins. I think you mentioned Sunday, Penn State fired their offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
already. And I've heard that Chip Kelly, did he get let go?
No, it's rumored that he will be let go after the USC game.
I mean, man's a good coach. I don't know. I hate it. We hate it for him. And I kind of hate that you're an AD. Why would you not wait 2 more weeks? How does that kind of stuff get out?
Well, it's totally different than high school. In college football, the people that write the checks for the big money get to help make that decision. If you don't think Texas A&M's big-time donors were in the ears of the board of trustees, I mean, that's why Jimbo's on a permanent vacation. And I wouldn't do anything the rest of my life.
Not a thing.
I'd do whatever I wanted to do.
I'd start a podcast.
You could start a podcast.
He could have an anti-A&M podcast.
In your own studio.
There you go. In his own little town.
Yeah, he could make it on his own island. Whatever.
Yes, it's different. And those folks usually find a place to land or they're, got plenty, and they're not like living paycheck to paycheck type coaches. But that's why, one thing I do like about the portal situation is, which we have always in the past, and I say we, I know me, I think you agreed, advise kids you don't pick a college for the coach, because back in the day you could get stuck at that school. You pick the school for the school, but now if you pick for the coach and they leave, you might be able to go with them. So best of luck to any of the folks that get let go here in the next couple of weeks. The third college football poll got released. They bumped Georgia up to number 1. Ohio State, Michigan State at 2 and 3. I think everything else was very similar. Those two obviously are going to play each other at some point. Bailey, you think there's any scenario where they both make the playoffs, Michigan and Ohio State? I mean, if they played to a tie game and like somebody won by a point in overtime or something crazy, is that
they
even?
They still have divisions in the Big Ten, don't they?
Oh yeah, the winner have to go play like somebody.
I just don't. I don't think so. I think the good thing about those two playing so late in the year is the loser's out most of the time.
Losers out. I think you're right. In that,
unless other people got beat.
Well, that 13th game will also make a difference in not only the winner is the winner, but the winner gets that opportunity to go and get another win. And it should be the same, if things continue to play out. What really could mess it up is if Alabama beats Georgia in the SEC championship game. That could throw a little wrench in everything, but you never know. Highly unlikely for both Michigan and Ohio State. And so this is my reason I say that. And I don't understand why the committee puts them both in there. To me, they should have to pick one. They know they're going to play. And I know that sounds silly right now. And they explain, well, we do it based on where they are right now and da-da-da-da-da. But they're going to play. You're picking the top 4 are going to make the playoffs. So essentially you're picking
it's this week's poll. It's not the end of the season.
Yeah, I know. To me, it's weird.
They're 2 of the top 4 teams in the country, I think.
You think?
Yeah. Spygate and Ohio State.
Well, see, then my argument would be just because one loses, then the loser should still be in.
Well, I think it depends on how they lose.
Okay. So it could. So that goes back to my first question.
If it's an overtime game and one team kicks a field goal to win,
there is a scenario.
Or somebody wins by 1, or let's see what happens. I don't care. Clemson's not in it. I don't care.
Well, I'm still pulling for Florida State because I think that'll help our bowl chances. So speaking of Clemson,
it will bump us up to potential Gator Bowl spot.
Yes. So go Seminoles. And speaking of the biggest game of the weekend, Clemson versus North Carolina at 3:30 in Death Valley. So what will it take? We never use phrases like keys to the game. So we'd be more professional if we used phrases like keys to the game. So Bailey, what are your keys to the game for Clemson to win Saturday?
To keep playing like they've been playing.
That's all right.
Because Mac Brown said they look like a playoff team.
Yes.
And he's not blowing smoke. They look like a playoff team right now. If they'd have played like they've played the last 2 weeks all year, they would be a playoff team.
Correct. It'd be us up there at number 4 instead of Florida State.
Correct.
That's right. So I'm going to go with Mac Brown and Bailey and throw in
they're really good on offense. Really good. Their defense is a little porous. So if we can get some stops, defense has been playing lights out. They're going to score. They got the best quarterback in the country. They got
a really good quarterback.
Right.
Okay, so the Georgia Tech quarterback was having some success scrambling before he got to Clemson. North Carolina's quarterback usually has some He usually has some success scrambling. You think are they going to have a similar, is he faster? Maybe, or he's more experienced. I know that.
Yeah, he's better, but he's one of those guys. He scares me because he can run it, but he can throw it on the run.
Yeah, it's definitely scary.
I mean, he might be the number 1 overall pick in the draft.
You think so?
He could be.
Yeah.
So anyway, you know what? Defense, just keep playing like you're playing.
So yeah, my key to the game is defense. Keep playing like you're playing. Offense, if you turn the ball over once, maybe that's not the end of the world. If we turn the ball over twice and it happens to not be some luck of the gods and, pick 6 or scoop and score for the other team or gets them in the red zone, it might even be okay. But, the turnover thing is the key in my opinion. So,
but you're going to stay positive throughout the game.
Yeah, that's it. That should be it.
I can feel it.
That's an easy fix.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think that's something else that's kind of turned a corner. I really do. Whatever it was, we talked about some little things, a little more focus or whatever, and maybe something before that. Maybe being at home. I mean, we're definitely a different team at home, so
no doubt
it's on like Donkey Kong. I think we're going to win by at least a score. touchdown score. That's my prediction.
Well, we're a touchdown
I don't think
favorite.
it'll be as many. Do what?
We're a touchdown favorite.
Oh, well, there you go. I didn't even know that. But it might be in the 20s. I'm going to guess in the 20s.
Okay.
I don't know this. Initially, I thought this might be a shootout, but then I'm thinking maybe not. All right, anyway. The second most important game to us coming up this Saturday is the Kentucky Wildcats at the University of Gamecocks, 7:30 p.m. So once again, it's another night game for the game. It's like practice. It's Clemson practice.
Mm-hmm.
And they need this game to have a chance at becoming bowl eligible. We had this conversation the other day. That's why this is important to us. So, Bailey, share your feelings on why you think what could happen for our game.
Okay, let's say they lose Saturday.
Yeah.
Then they basically the only thing they have to play for the rest of the season is beating Clemson. That scares me a little bit. And I think we talked about also that when we got in that big fight with them at Clemson, that they were not bowl eligible at the time, and they didn't care.
Didn't care.
Now, at the same time, I would rather them have to win to be bowl eligible against Clemson. So I hope they beat Kentucky.
Correct. I agree.
Because then the pressure's on them.
Pressure's on.
Yeah.
So
pressure's on.
And like we've said all season, they're a good team too. They've kind of faltered, obviously, but they put 11 division, as you always say, they put 11 Division I players on the field. So they have definite opportunity to beat Kentucky. And so that means we're pulling for the Gamecocks Saturday?
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far. I don't care who wins.
We're just going to say we don't care.
Right.
But it might be better for us if the Gamecocks actually win. All right, that's close enough. That's about as close as you can get us pulling for them. All right, we picked some other fun games. We picked fun games. And I ain't going to lie, I go through the slate of games coming up Saturday. There wasn't a whole lot of them that jumped out at me as, hey, this looks like it's going to be a fun game to watch. And a lot of teams, it seems, especially the SEC teams, have picked this week as one of those. Let's pay one of the lower tier
Senior day,
yeah, or something for people to come play us or whatever. So not a whole lot of big time matchups, but Friday night, I think the most exciting game to watch could possibly be the Colorado Buffaloes against the Washington State at 10:30 p.m. on Friday night. If you're anybody willing to stay up and watch it, I might record it. I think that'll be a good one. That could be. I think it's going to be a lot of offense. Another one is probably going to be fun to watch and is also semi-relatively important, especially for ACC fans. Number 10, Louisville takes on Miami at noon. You'll make a prediction, Bailey?
Again, if the Miami shows up that played Clemson, sure, they got a chance. But
yeah, I think they keep it close.
Yeah, Louisville's good.
Louisville's playing really well. Here's another one, and Bailey will love this one. I think a fun game to watch this weekend is going to be App State at James Madison, 2 p.m. on ESPN Plus. So, fun fans, college fans, keep your eye out for the Happy Appies to end the winning streak. You don't think so?
Dukes are in the playoffs. James Madison will be in the national championship game.
All right, and then finally, this is kind of the big time matchup of the weekend. Number 5 Washington at number 11 Oregon State. Big 12 or Pac-12 matchup out there at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So that's at least they're going to play out there at a decent time for us here. So we appreciate that. That should be a very good and very relevant game. And, and I said Oregon State. Sorry if I said Oregon. So that could be a good one. The Beavers will be going for the upset. I just wonder if Washington has shown that they're a very, very good team, but they're one of those teams where I don't know. It's like they're going to have a hiccup. They hadn't had a hiccup yet, and they're running out of time. They might not. So, I mean, they could take Oregon State to the woodshed. We'll see. But that'll be fun to find out. Anyway, so those are the games we're looking forward to this Saturday. It'll be fun no matter what because of the tailgating. We've never lost a tailgate, as Bailey's hoodie said the other day. And what's on the menu this Saturday?
Well, we talked about chili, but it's supposed to be like 73 degrees.
70
Saturday.
degrees. Do we want to change our mind?
I don't know. We'll talk off air. I'm definitely gonna have some because we're gonna have a little bit afterwards. Since it's Katie's last home game, and maybe by post game the chili would be outstanding.
But then the chili it'll be chilly. It'll be cold.
Well, you can heat it up on your little Bunsen burner thingy.
Yeah, we'll come prepared either way. We're gonna figure something out. It could be a good game for some wings from Reuben's.
Yeah, or just some sandwiches and stuff.
All right. Well, speaking of, it is a big day whether we have chili or crackers for the Jackson family, but final home game. And I'm gonna do the introduction. Should I do an introduction?
Let me go on just a little bit of a spill first.
All right, we're gonna.
All right, we are doing this. We are doing this. One, because Katie is my daughter. Two, because, and it's not that I have a bone to pick with Clemson. I get it. I get that cheerleading is a support squad. I understand that. I'm an athletic director. Okay. They don't get recognized for senior day quite like the football players do, and that's fine. So she will have her Jumbotron moment. Her parents will be in the bleachers, probably drying up tears and things like that. But this is her senior presentation, and I'm not emailing Clemson complaining because, hey, I get to go to Little John Coliseum for senior day in basketball, and that's fine. I love Clemson. They're not going to get any complaints from me.
So basketball, you guys will go down there with her and stuff.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So it's been a while since I've been on that court. We used to get in there with somebody's key late at night when I was in college and play when we weren't supposed to be. But anyway, I used to referee down there some. All right.
It's a whole different court.
So this is Katie Jackson's senior day recognition. Katie Jackson is the daughter of Bailey and Jay Jackson from Clover, South Carolina. She is a marketing major with a President's List GPA, and her parents are super proud of her. But most importantly, she's been a Tiger from day one. All right, cue picture here. All right, so that's us. And when she was just a little one, so she had no choice but to pull for the Tigers. All right, and then I remember one of her first Clemson games, if not her first Clemson game. Look at that. Look how cute she is. She had a big time, and she said, I want to be a Clemson cheerleader. Right then. And then, so the rest is history. All right. Now today, this is an older picture, but there she is in her Clemson letter jacket.
That's a good picture.
She has earned a national championship ring while she's been there. And more importantly for her mom and myself, she's on, as I said earlier, the President's List. And she's just a really good person.
Yep.
So Katie Jackson, senior day, there it is. We love you. Keep doing what you're doing. Bingo.
All right.
I didn't even tear up.
Look at you. You're all professional and stuff.
She's my buddy.
Well, we're looking forward to it. And we're proud of her as well, just being friends of you guys and seeing her grow up. And I think my daughter's had that exact same Clemson girls shirt too. So that's a big deal. Not everybody gets to be a college athlete. So that's a huge deal. And she should be very proud. So hope she really, really enjoys her last time in the Valley. And it won't be her last time to cheer because there's at least 2 more games coming. So that'll be awesome. Right. All right. So that's great. And there's no better way to end than on that note. So we appreciate everyone checking us out each and every week. Don't forget to click subscribe on the Fun Fans Podcast YouTube channel, as well as your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on social media and please share. On behalf of the Fun Fans Podcast, Jay Thriller Entertainment, the Fanboys Fangirls Podcast Network, Reuben's Food, Sports, Spirits Catering, Diamond Edge Products, and Bailey Jackson.
Go Tigers.
Thanks for listening.